Hello and welcome to today's content, which will be based on the guild battle map change that is happening on the 19th of May. And without further ado, let's begin. To start off, we currently have the Horn Castle Gate map, which is the slash attack up and magic attack res up. What this means is that slashers are stronger and magic casters are weaker, and if magic is weaker, that means evasion units in general are going to be a little bit stronger because that means they can survive 100% hits from Holy. The map varies in height, and the map's starting position is decently spread out, but you can still do team buffs if your AI is correctly tuned. We are moving on to, however, the new guild battle map, which is going to be the Cave, and the map effects is going to be strike attack up and earth attack up. What this means is that strikers in general are going to be much stronger, earth units are in general going to be stronger. Since there is nothing affecting magic directly, that means evasion is going to be weaker in general, because that means energy ray and holy and magic in general will be hitting much harder. Because the map is completely flat, but it does have rocks, it may affect positioning and AoE abilities in general. If the AoE ability is not big enough, then maybe your unit might not use as much AoE and might use more single target. Also, because the map's starting position is very close to your teammates, this allows for like heavy team buffing. It does take at least 2 turns of movement from the beginning to get to the others opponent's area, unless they rush forward. But yeah, you're definitely able to use team buffs and stuff and kind of turtle if you want to. So for the units that benefit from strike and or earth, first off we're going to have Ziza. Ziza with her debilitating fist is going to be very, very, very strong, especially on this map specifically. 2B is going to be very strong with her pugilist subjob. She already hits very hard with her other abilities, but because she has access to the pugilist subjob, she will hit very hard. Aron is also, he does have a pugilist subjob and is actually kind of recommended to use it in general if you do use him. He's also a very good matchup into 2B and such, because of the element typing. And we also have the new unit coming out, which is going to be Luel. She has strike magic type damage, which is a bit unique because she's also strike and her magic ability does have strike on it as well. I mean, not strike, sorry. She's an earth unit that also has strike damage that targets your magic defense or your spirit. She can definitely gain the most benefits from this map specifically. So these are very, very strong EX units that can definitely take advantage of the map effects. For the other side, we have Halloween Ryu, we have Winter Venera, and Raldor. The reason why they're on the other side is because they do not have their EX. However, they can benefit from the map still, and they have a little bit of a niche build on them that they're able to kind of contest with the meta in general. For this specifically, Halloween Ryu has Immortal Spirit and he has high damage already. Being able to get more earth damage means that before he's killed or taken down, he can at least deal a significant amount of damage. For Venera, it's really sad until she gets her EX, unfortunately, but she is still a counter to magic in general. So if you put her into a position against magic users, she does have a high strike damage in general. That she's still missing a good portion of her kit from the EX. However, she is still useful in that regard. Raldor specifically is actually very tough to kill because he is one of the people that has a barrier that's Saintly Wall at 50% for physical attacks in general. He will have to worry about magic, however, because he is strike in general and he has very high strike multiplier damage on his abilities, he can definitely take advantage of that. He just has to worry about magic in general pretty much, and any barrier breaks that might take him out. So here we are for the meta units that are decently matched into the strike / earth units. Specifically, Yuna. Yuna is actually quote-unquote weak to strike, which is at -5%. However, she does have access to Bahamut, and because she is a strong magic user and EX, Bahamut does have strike resistance. She is able to get a little bit of strike resistance there, as well as because there's no mitigation from magic anymore, you're gonna see Yuna's coming out much more because she's gonna be hitting like a truck, like the usual Bahamut Yuna combo. After that, we have Kingmont. Kingmont is actually weak to strike by 10%, -10%. However, because he does have access to Phoenix and a crap load of defense, he's actually able to definitely mitigate strike damage if he wanted to very easily. And he also has a lot of defense, so just in general, King Mont is very, very difficult to kill. In general, he'll almost always be useful. And now we have regular Stern, who has 20% to strike resistance, and with his EX, he hits like a truck. He literally hits very, very hard. I would argue he's almost one of the hardest hitters in the game because of his EX. Obviously, you can mitigate against it. However, because he has strike resistance and he has high damage, anyone who's like strike related damage against him it'll be a little bit harder to take him down in one hit without him retaliating with like a revenge kill. Also, because Yurma recently got her EX, she's a wind unit, and her EX definitely makes her a much harder hitter once again. She does have a 100% hit ability, she has a barrier break and defense penetration on her ability. She would definitely be useful on this map, especially against earth units in general. On the other side, they do not have their EXs yet, but I do believe they are good into the matchups in general against Strike and Earth. Garvel specifically, he has his Chi barrier or Key barrier, sorry, it depends how people pronounce it, but his barrier allows him to survive longer. He has 100% hit and he has very hard hitting magic abilities. Also, this map is kind of like, people can't just like run around forever, and it's kind of more direct, you're just running into the enemy. This makes Garvel like very effective in terms of his hyper vitality passive. This makes it so that Garvel is very good into the physical matchup. However, he will have to watch out for Yunas and Luels because he is weak to magic in general, especially when there is not going to be much mitigation on this map against magic attacks in general. Halloween Leela is actually going to be good here because not only is she's wind element, but if there are any strike units on the other team, she can still do significant damage to them, even if they are like they have a little bit of spirit or like magic resistance. She can still be useful here because of her kit. Basically, it's just gonna be very good into earth units in general. Knight of Ruin Stern is gonna be here because he does have a little bit of strike resistance. It's not gonna be super large, however, because he has a very high damage and he has a very large AoE ability that helps on this map specifically because of how flat it is and like the little like rocks in the way that might prevent some AoE abilities. He still is going to be very hard hitting. He does have Hazard Crusher still, and he has a little bit of survivability against strike damage in general, so it'll be nice. However, because he does not have a lot of spirit in general, even if he has high magic resistance, a Luel that's properly built can probably deal significant damage to him. Lastly, we have Winter Victoria. The reason why I put her here is that gunners and snipers in general on this map can actually do pretty well because they can kind of hide behind the rocks that are like blocking the pathways in a bit. She does not have her EX, however, so you have to keep that in mind, but she also has Saintly Wall, which is very, very effective against physical damage dealers in general unless they have a barrier break. So that's why she made it onto this list. Here we are with the Espers and what Espers you should use on the new map. Obviously, Espers in general are like, you can just use whatever you want, but specifically with strike resistance, Bahamut has a good amount of strike resistance, Ramu has a good amount, and then Phoenix has the highest, I believe, with 25% possible. These are all strike resistance Espers that you can think about using. For the right side, it's going to be either Earth Attack / Killer and Resistance. Tetra not only is Wind Element, so she's gonna get like an advantage from that. She has also Earth Killer on her kit, so she's gonna be very useful against Earth units in general. Titan is here specifically. He does not have Earth Attack, however, he does have Pierce Attack and Spirit. He's also Earth Element, so he does get the resistances for his typing. And then we have finally Golem, who is gonna have Defense, Human Killer, and Earth Attack. If you have an Earth Attacker that can use most of his abilities on his panel board, he will be very useful for Earth units. And with that, we arrived to the end of the video. As always, if you liked my guild map change video, please leave a like and subscribe. And I didn't want to make this video too long because I feel like people don't like watching too many long stuff, and I don't blame them. But yeah, until the next guild map change for this video, peace out.